What's up guys, my name is Brandon and today I'm going to be showing you 9 awesome applications you will actually use in 2017. And the best part, 8 of 9 of these applications are free. So we're not going to waste any time, we're going to go ahead and get straight into this. And if you enjoy this video guys, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Alright, so the first application is called Elevate. And Elevate is basically a brain exercising application that I start every single morning off with. And I know it sounds super uninteresting and may remind you of school or something like that, but trust me, it is an amazing application if you're interested in bettering yourself and kind of just enhancing your daily real life skills. So when you first launch the app, you get to choose what you want to improve in, whether that be improving focus while reading and listening, improving your problem solving ability, basic math and percentages for calculating things like sales at stores and tips at restaurants, and there are many others to choose from. So after you choose what you want to work on, you get to take a short quiz to kind of just assess your current skill level in the areas like writing, listening, reading, speaking, and math. And after you complete that quiz, you're pretty much ready to begin. So you start off every day with predetermined training based on what you selected at the beginning, and you basically just compete against yourself for high scores and unlocking more games. These games come in various different styles and different objectives, which always makes for a fun and interesting time. Not to mention, the games aren't easy, especially when you have a short time limit for every single objective. It is not easy, and the more you fail, it gets easier the more you fail because it will lower the difficulty every time you retry. But it's still tough and you may have to, retry a couple times until you actually pass this certain objective. Like I said, the UI is fantastic, the games are fantastic, and after each session or game, you can actually see your progress and compare it to your previous scores to see if you're actually improving over time. It's like you're pretty much just competing against yourself to become better at whatever you want to become better at. Now, the only downside to this application is that a lot of the good and challenging games are only available to pro members who pay $45 per year. But since I'm always investing in myself, I do have the pro version, but if you can't afford that, the free version is still fantastic, and you can always test out the free trial for the pro version to see if it's worth it in your mind. Next up is an application called Agoda, which is a must-have application for those who travel. So Agoda allows you to choose where you want to go, when you want to go, and how many people are going with you. And then once you choose that, you can see the prices for the places to stay when traveling about and book your stay right from the application itself. Now, I actually used this application last year when I traveled to Turks and Caicos, and everything went smoothly with absolutely no issues. So once you choose where you want to go, you get a list of all the hotels, resorts, cottages, and more places that are available to stay in that location. And you can either look at these places through a list view or a map view. You can switch between the two, and you also have the ability to filter on both views. You can filter to show only like 4 or 5 star places, or by budget. If you have a certain budget, you can filter it down by that, or whether or not you have pets and different areas of the city, things like that. You can filter it down to your liking. And once you click on a listing, you can scroll through the photos of the place. You can read reviews, which there are a lot of reviews, by the way, which is great. It reminds me of Amazon. So a lot of reviews. You can also see the pricing, what's included in the room, who the room is recommended for, and of course a button to book the stay now. And once you click book now, you can easily sign up through an account or just pay as a guest. So that is Agoda, a great application for those who travel or those who are just looking to see what's out there and how much it'll cost. The third application is called Truecaller, and this one is one that I will never delete from my phone. So to put simply, Truecaller lets you know when a spammer is calling and gives you the ability to block them easily. So as you can see on my screen right now, here's what it looks like when a known spammer is calling you. So you can see the red background basically just lets you know immediately not to pick up, and Truecaller even lets you know what type of spam call it is. So as you can see right here, in my case, it was a loan approval scam, and I knew not to answer or even Google the number like I usually do because Truecaller showed me right away that it is a spam call and not to pick up. This saves me a ton of time because I get a lot of spam calls, and I usually have to, Google the number and find out if it was a spam call or a scam call or not. And I don't have to do that with this application. It saves me that time of Googling each number, and it tells me right from the app, right from the call screen, that it's a spam call and I don't need to answer. So how it works is basically Truecaller adds a contact to your contacts list, and that contact contains hundreds of numbers labeled as spam. So going into the application, you can see that there's a section here called Spam ID, and this allows you to periodically update the list of spammers and add new ones to the list. It's a pretty simple process, and it really only takes like 30 seconds to a minute to update itself. And you will also get notifications when there is a new update available, when there's new numbers available to sync. You can also make calls, view your contacts, and search for numbers straight from the application. So it's pretty cool, and one that I will always keep nested in a folder on my device. Since I don't really use the application, I don't open the application, I should say, I just let it work its magic when someone is actually calling on that call screen. Next up is Prisma, and this is an application that turns your photos or videos into realistic paintings. So I've been using this one for a while, and if you actually look at my personal Twitter profile picture, you can see an effect from Prisma. It uses one of the effects from this application. So basically with this application, you can choose a photo from your camera roll or take a new photo from the app itself. Then you get the ability to completely change the style of the image through the effects that make it look like literally a legit painting. So I'm gonna snap a quick picture here and let Prisma work its magic. So this isn't the best example, and I'll show a better one in a second, but you can see the style is completely different and it looks just like a painting. So here is a better example, a photo of myself at the beach last year. So you can see I can choose that image and then immediately get the ability to change the style. As you can see, there are quite a few styles to choose from, and each style will fit different types of images. But my two personal favorites are the one that starts with Thata, I think that's how you say it, and Dallas. Those are my two favorites, at least for this photo it is. And this application also works for short videos, but you may find them to be looking a little bit strange. I did it for multiple types of videos and it just looked really weird. So you can see the amazing outcome of the images, and it makes for great, creative photos to share on social media. But for videos, you'll kind of just have to test it out and see how it works for you. So if you want to save the photo, you can simply tap the blue share icon and you can post it straight to your Prisma feed right there, or you can share it to Instagram, Facebook, Camera Roll, or pretty much anywhere else. Next up is Mint, and this is an essential app if you're an adult and you have bills to pay and budgets to set. So basically with Mint, you sync up the accounts from your phone, your internet, your bank, your loans, whatever expenses you pay. You basically sync up those accounts, and Mint will basically break down your spending habits, show when bills are due, your current credit score, and just so much more. So from the main screen, you can see the recent transactions, your credit score, and the ability to add a transaction, create a budget, or add an account. If you add a transaction, you can choose the amount, you can choose how much you paid for it, and when it took place. But of course, if you have your bank and your credit cards already synced up with the application, it will pull that data automatically, so you won't really need to do this unless you pay cash for something. Then you can also create budgets for your monthly spending expenses. You can see you have like insurance, you have gas, phone and internet, and just so much more. Anything that you'd really have an expense for on a monthly basis is in here. And then on the overview tab, you can see the alerts for bill payments, your cash available, your bills that have been paid and bills that are also upcoming, your budget for the current month, cash flow, a chart of your spending broken down by category, and also advice. So I use Mint mostly to keep track of my bills and track my expenses, but I also make sure that my credit score is in the 700 or 800s. So it's a good way to keep track of my credit score as well. Like I said, it's really just a must-have app for adults who like being organized and tracking their expenses. Next up is an application called Splittable, which is another application dealing with expenses, but it's more geared towards college students. So Splittable makes it easy to track expenses, split bills, and see who pays for what if you're living with a roommate or another person. It basically just helps you remember who owes what or how much something will cost each month. So if you're in college and you live with a roommate or two, you definitely need to try this app out. So as you can see here, it says that I live with Angela, and the homepage shows how much each person owes or is owed and the amount. So if you click on the big plus button down in the bottom middle, you can add a cost or a payment. And if I click on cost, you can see that I can choose the category of the cost, how much it costs, and who paid for it. Then you can choose how that cost is supposed to be split, the date, and how often this cost will occur, whether it's on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, or just this one time. Now, if you don't live with anyone, it can still be a useful app to keep track of how much your parents or your friends owe you and how much you owe them. The seventh app is Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic, and I just had to include a game in here because this is literally the only game I play on my iPhone 7 Plus right now, and it could be due to the fact that I grew up on this game. I'm sure all my early 90s kids can relate here, but Roller Coaster Tycoon for the PC is literally the best game of all time. It has to be one of the top best games of all time. And this classic rendition brings back all of those memories. It's practically the same game with the same level of sophistication. So if you aren't familiar, the objective with Roller Coaster Tycoon is to build a theme park that attracts a lot of people and earns a solid profit every month. It sounds simple, but it really isn't. You'll have to choose what rides get built and also where the lines will form, where the food and the restrooms will be located, how many mechanics, security guards, and handymen you have to hire as your park becomes more popular, setting advertising and marketing budgets to bring in more customers, and just so much more. It's like a real business. So what makes this game so fun is that you practically build something from scratch and watch people get excited and spend money on your own creation. And once you get to a certain point, you can literally just watch everything operate and keep tabs on the customer satisfaction. And you're really always just thinking about what to build next to get more customers and make more money for your theme park. It would take me hours to explain and show you everything about this game, but once you're up and running, you can basically see your monthly expenses and your profit, how satisfied your customers are and what they're thinking. You can run marketing campaigns and, for just fun operational tasks like it's a real business. The app also makes it very easy to save and load parks at any given time, and you can see there are numerous parks to choose from at the beginning, but I'd definitely go ahead and stick with the very first one just because there is kind of a learning curve to this game, and it'll take you some time to get used to everything and how to build properly. But if you're patient and you start building a cool park, you will be hooked, I guarantee it. So Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic is a nostalgic, sophisticated classic iPhone strategy game that is well worth every penny of its $6 price tag and may very well be my favorite iPhone game of all time. Next up is MyFitnessPal, another application that I've been using for years and have never thought about deleting it. So MyFitnessPal is basically just a fitness application that tracks your macros, your weight, your calorie intake, and so much more. Whether you're into fitness or you're just trying to bulk or lose weight, this is truly a must-have application, and I guarantee you will use it often. You start out by putting your current weight, and then you put your goal weight, and MyFitnessPal will automatically set the calories you need to eat each day into there and track your progress along the way. When you click on the big blue plus button, you get the option to input food, water, exercise, or your new weight. And since most people will be clicking on food from here, we're just gonna go ahead and click on that. And as you can see, you can add in what you had for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, as well as the amount of water you drank and the exercises you did that day. Then you can see how many calories are remaining for the day up at the top, and you can even go back in time and see how well you did the previous days or just what you ate the previous days. All of this data gets tracked, and you can see your progress on a really well-designed graph where it breaks down the nutrients and macros to see what kind of food you're eating and how much weight you're gaining or losing. Again, it's a must-have application for anyone into fitness or just trying to bulk or lose weight. And the final application on this list is KeepSafe. So KeepSafe is a very straightforward app that allows you to protect personal or sensitive photos and videos securely behind a passcode. So you can hide photos by default with iOS 10, but they're just hidden in a folder in your photos called Hidden. So that's not really a practical way of hiding photos. So with this application, you simply choose what photos or videos you want protected, and after clicking on the photo, you get the option to delete the photo or video from your camera roll, which you should definitely do. And then when you click on a photo in KeepSafe, you always have the option to copy the photos back to your camera roll through the application. So the application is free, but it also has a premium plan where you can save the photos to the private cloud server, get break-in alerts when someone enters the wrong password, disguise the app as something else, and more. I'm on the trial for the premium version right now, but I'm not going to upgrade to premium just because free is just good enough for me. So yeah, that is KeepSafe, and that's just a more secure way to keep your photos private, especially if your girlfriend is always going through your phone or you're just worried about people finding things on your phone that you don't want them to know are there. So there you have it, guys. Those are 9 awesome applications that you will actually use on your iPhone in 2017. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment below with your favorite application and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one, as well as iPhone hacks, tips, jailbreak news, and much more. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.